Aloha, my name is Maulili Dickson. I'm the cook and quartermaster aboard Hikianalia on this Tahiti to Samoa lake. I have a question from Madeline at Highlands Ranch. I believe it's Colorado. I'm from Waimea on the Big Island of Hawaii, and we have a family ranch called Sky Ranch. So I'm a paniolo or a cowboy aboard the canoe. I'm also the cook and been quartermaster cook since the 90s, and been sailing since the late 70s. The question that Madeline asked was, do we eat a lot of dry foods on the vaka or the va'a or the canoe? And I'm gonna answer it in many ways. In the past, we've dried fish after we caught it aboard Hokulea. We strung lines and we dried all the fish. And some of the crew members kept on testing the fish to see if it was dried enough. And by the time it was dried enough, we wouldn't have any fish left. So that's part of your answer. On the modern recipes and the menus that we have a lot of dehydrated food. We do bring dried food with us, especially condiments like onions, green onions, or round onions. A lot of jerky type meats, the beef, pork. We also have what we call opai, which is a shrimp, dried shrimp, and we use that within our soups and our miso soups or our saimin or ramen, if whatever you're familiar with. Japanese or Chinese ways. We use a lot of our condiments that are dried, like ginger, because we can't always have fresh garlic or ginger, so we have that all freeze-dried or dried. And that goes into flavoring our food. We have dry foods, canned foods, and pastas, rice, and we can make all kind of menus, but we're set to a 6-day menu. And in almost every menu, every day, we have some sort of dry foods or dehydrated foods that we hydrate. The problem is when you have too much hydrated food, you don't get the quality of nourishment you need, and you need more water capacity on board, which is more weight. So we fluctuate between the weight factor and the value or the nutrients of the foods. And that's how we make our menus, that's how we survive. But we always love to catch fresh fish. And if the fish are too big for one meal, what we do is cut them in sections, put them in a 5-gallon bucket in water, and change the water about every 15-20 minutes. And that's our refrigerator on board to hold it for another meal. So we'll have probably raw fish or slightly fried, or we call it blackened or seared fish for the first meal. The second meal, we would fry it all the way to cook it through to make sure it's safe to eat. And after that, if we still have food, we'll be drying that with sea salt and soaking that in sea salt and drying it aboard the canoe. And that'll last for days, even weeks. But your question is, yes, we have a lot of stuff that we use on board that's dried or dehydrated. We prefer the dry because you have a better taste, you have a sweeter taste than the dehydrated, which is factory or oven cooked. But please continue to follow us on hokulea.com and offer us some more questions about the food or anything else. Aloha.